It's Conduit News Radio with Paul Harrell.
When we say that this is the intersection of conservative ideas and reality, and that we're building a liberty machine, the concept of liberty is a something that it's always refreshing when politicians talk about the preservations of liberty and everything else, right? I've said for a long time, though, the Declaration of Independence, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You can't really have life, liberty. You can't have liberty. You can't have the pursuit of happiness if you don't have life. You know what I'm saying? You got to have life first. And that's why it's so important to protect the unborn. That's why abortion is such a, not only is it obviously moral in its face, but it conflicts with our founding documents. Here to talk more about that, we have the head of Arkansas Right to Life, Rose Mimms, is back with us. Rose, thanks for coming on the program.
Well, thank you, Paul. Good morning.
Good morning to you. I wanted to have you on. Number one, let's talk just real quick before we get to the event, because I know you got a big event coming up on Sunday. But, you have been a pro-life advocate for a very long time, and your work has paid off. Arkansas is now, one of the most pro-life states in the entire country. That didn't used to be the case. I mean, I remember in the 90s, you would hear people who, were just not educated on the subject. They didn't really know what abortion was, and because they didn't know what abortion really was doing to the baby, they were pro-choice, But that's not the case anymore.
No, Arkansas Right to Life's primary mission is educational, and we work to save the babies' lives through changing hearts and minds on this issue. You're absolutely right. The whole abortion industry really is steeped in euphemisms and false information. To this day, they tell women it's not a baby. It's a clump of cells, a blob of tissue. And the general public, they don't want to see the real face of abortion, where babies are ripped limb by limb, feeling every bit of that, or sucked down a tube, ripping the small little baby parts of piece. It's just ridiculous that we have this brutality on our innocent, defenseless babies. And I've worked 30 years to help end abortion, and God willing, will be fighting until my dying breath on this issue that's so important.
We're in the middle of the 92nd general, we're at the beginning of it. I mean, do you think there's any legislation out there that's going to be, that you guys are going to support, and what do you think that legislation would do at this point?
Well, we have a couple of bills. Well, legislation is key, and that's another vital part of the work of Arkansas Right to Life, is to pass life-saving legislation to not only educate people, but to actually save the lives of babies. And we've been doing that since 1974, and for many years it was hard road to hoe there at the Capitol, but thankfully, we've been able to elect good pro-life candidates to office who have helped us pass legislation. That's another key work of Arkansas Right to Life, is supporting pro-life candidates. Yes, we have two bills on our agenda. There's going to be others that will have pro-life bills introduced and trying to get through that will save lives. But our bills are on the safe haven law, which has to do with infanticide, actually. Women who have babies and then just toss them aside. It happens all over our country, happens here in Arkansas. And we have a safe haven law that allows for the safe surrender of infants 30 days or younger at hospitals or law enforcement agencies. But we want to add fire departments. And so we'll be doing that. And also we want to authorize, if anybody would want to, especially fire stations, to install a safe haven baby box there that would give the woman complete anonymity, or the father. Mother, father can surrender the infant. So we're going to be working on that bill right away. We're going to be introducing it, having a press conference, and educate people about this law that's been on the Arkansas books. Every state in the union has a safe haven law.
Wow.
The other bill will be to educate people on abortion pill reversal. Mothers now are choosing to end their pregnancies through medication, the abortion pill. And there is now a treatment that women who, after they take the first pill, can possibly save the life of their baby if they change their mind and don't take that second pill. they can possibly save the life of their child. And over 500 babies are alive today and more on the way whose mothers changed their mind.
Wow. You mean so they take the pill, the abortifacient, and then they change their mind? You're saying that there's an actual way to still keep the baby after you've taken the pill?
Right.
Wow.
It's a progesterone treatment that doctors only can provide to that mother, and it has been successful. Now, Planned Parenthood and other abortion providers, they totally, discount that can happen, but it is happening. And they can say all they want about it, that it doesn't work, it's not effective, but it is. And we've already got a small portion of information in the Woman's Right to Know law that was passed in 2015 that we want to expand on. And we want to be able to give women who go to the abortion clinic or Planned Parenthood and take that first pill information in their discharge papers that says, if you change your mind and before you take the second pill, if you want to try to save your pregnancy, here's the number to call, here's the website to look at, get help immediately.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, you want to provide, we're talking about literally life and death. And so, yeah, providing every opportunity, every option available. I think that's absolutely fantastic. We're talking with Rose Mimms with the Arkansas Right to Life. You can find out more at artl.org. Real quick, it was in the headlines yesterday, Rose. You had the Google CEO a couple months ago testify before Congress talking about how they never manually manipulate search results or suppress anybody. And then we find out that YouTube, which is owned by Google, they were manually suppressing pro-life videos. So what was going on was when you typed in the word abortion in YouTube, the top 10 search results were pro-life videos. And so, first of all, this man has lied to Congress. Google CEO's lied to Congress. I don't think there's any way around that. Now, I don't know what Congress will do about it. But now YouTube has doubled down, and they're saying, well, yes, they've admitted it. Yes, we did do this, and we did it manually. We did it, but it's because pro-life videos are misleading, and it's misinformation. So now they're claiming that it's fake news. And what I just want to say, I think that organizations like Arkansas Right to Life and others, I think they've won over the American people. I think the left knows what they're doing is wrong. We've seen the videotapes of them, basically selling baby body parts and talking about the most gruesome things while sipping their Chardonnay over a lunch. And, I think people are disgusted by this, and they know what's going on. And the reason those videos were at the top is because they were the most watched. And that's what people are consuming, and they're realizing the barbarism that, we have been accepting for decades. And it's got to stop. I know you agree with that, Rose.
Absolutely. The truth always wins out. And we'll continue to tell the truth, what actually happens in an abortion. And like you say, there are pictures out there. There are videos out there. And, they can only fool a few of the people. They're not going to be able to fool the American public on this issue, and they haven't been, and that's why abortion rates are dropping. That's why more women are choosing life for their child, not abortion. And so we'll keep doing what we're doing. Okay,
so Sunday, January the 20th, so this coming Sunday is the 40th. No, actually, it's not the 20th, right? Because I'm looking at the wrong article.
It is.
Oh, it is. Okay.
No, it's January 20th is our March for Life.
Okay.
That's Sunday.
Okay. I guess the date I'm looking at here says it's 2018 on. So I that's somebody must have. I'm doing that on checks. I'm still writing 2018 on checks. Oh, I see. 2019. Okay, right here, 2019. It's the 41st annual March for Life. And so tell us about this event coming up again on the 20th in Little Rock. It starts at 2 p.m., and it's going to be a cold one, Rose.
It is, and people should bundle up and prepare. It's an outdoor event. We march from behind the Capitol beginning at 2 p.m. Staging is between Battery Street and Wolf Street. It's a peaceful, prayerful observance of the anniversary of the Roe v. Wade decision that happened in 1973 on January 22nd. It's all about the babies that have been killed by legal abortion to the tune of about 60 million now. Actually, it's a little bit higher than that, but 60 million is a rough estimate. And it's all about bringing more awareness to this issue to the general public, letting them know it's not a settled issue. They wanted it to be a settled issue in 1973. It's far from that. In fact, it's the most divisive political issue in the history of our nation, I would say, that, we allow mothers to end the life of their unborn child for no reason whatsoever, really. Roe v. Wade gave us abortion on demand, and we are there to mark the anniversary, to mourn the lives, and to always be there to remember the babies and to fight for those 3,500 that are dying every day in our country.
Yeah. Wow. When you really think about how many children, how many is it since 1973? It's over 50 million, right?
Right. It's roughly, I don't have National Right to Life number, but they've got a number. It's 60,900 and some odd thousand lives that they have been able to calculate. They have a fact sheet on their website that shows their calculations for each year. We don't have really current information because the abortion statistics that we get are from the CDC and Guttmacher Institute, and they're behind. So it's actually more, probably closer to 70 million. It's not far from that because we are lacking years. I think 2014 was the last year we got, or 2015.
Yeah, and the loss of life, the loss of the potential of life is also decreased because those 70 million children would have had kids of their own by now. Absolutely. You see news reports all the time about how we're not replacing ourselves and the problems that is going to cause and has already caused after 46 years of legal abortion. We don't have people paying taxes and contributing to our society in programs like Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. All of those programs are in jeopardy because we are an aging population, because we've been killing our babies. Do you ever do any work with pregnancy help centers or crisis centers, resource centers?
We work closely with them, and that's actually how I began my activism, was as a volunteer at a crisis pregnancy center. I did that for 5 years here in Little Rock, and the more I learned, the more I was needed to do. I wanted to do more. But, yeah, they are our friends. Their mission is slightly different than ours. They're not political. They are actually helping women on the front lines, I say, that are looking, are they pregnant, or they think they're pregnant, and they need help, and they need real choices, not the choice to kill their baby.
Yeah.
That doesn't solve anybody's problems. They also do post-abortion counseling, and all their services are free. They're even giving free ultrasounds now. So, yes, we work closely with them. I call them my friends because they are. Yeah,
they really are. And I think in many cases, they're taking a woman who is in a crisis, doesn't know what to do, and the first thing they're doing is forging a relationship with that person, and they're showing them that they care. And it's out of that, I guess, environment that, now, okay, we can make the right choice and go forward. And so I think it's really good, the stuff that they're doing. Now, the reason I brought that up, Rose, what's the trend like when it comes to the number of abortions in Arkansas or nationwide? Is this a trend that is decreasing?
It is. The abortion rates that we have right now are lower than pre-Roe figures. So, we reached our peak of abortions in the United States in the late 80s, early 90s, and it was at 1.6 million. Ever since then, it has been decreasing. And right now in the United States, we are under a million, around 900,000 some odd a year. And in Arkansas, our Arkansas rate goes up and down. It's because we have so many women coming from out of state. Our actual numbers, Arkansas women having abortions, are going down. But we have these women, hundreds of them, that come from other states having abortions here in Arkansas. And you wonder why women do that. Well, they do it because they're either evading a state law that is, restricting their abortion in some way, or they simply come so that to get away, to hide the fact that they're having an abortion. After 46 years, you would think that women, and they are in some places, shouting their abortion, but most women know. They don't want people to know they've had an abortion. They don't talk about it. Some of these women carry that sorrow and guilt for 25, 30 years before they seek help. And we give them free help to deal with that abortion.
Yeah, that there is a lot of grief. I know there's a lot of women out there that have done this and regretted it, and so it's important to have compassion for them as well moving forward in life. Rose, go ahead, Rose.
Well, I was just going to say, absolutely. I mean, these women, these mothers, primarily are victims themselves. It's not their choice. They want support. They want help from their families, their partners, whoever the father is of that baby, to support them. And I get calls every day from women seeking abortions, and they don't really want an abortion, but they feel like they have no other choice. I mean, they're really trapped, and it's sad. And the crisis pregnancy centers are trying to help them out of that trap, and to see that they don't have to choose abortion. They can choose life for their child. And we want everybody to come to our March for Life on Sunday that loves life, wants to protect life. We're not there for any other issue or reason. We're there to remember those babies that have been lost and to support the mothers who are seeking help with that past abortion.
Folks, it is the Arkansas Right to Life March for Life. It's this Sunday. It starts at 2 o'clock. Again, staging begins at 1:30 between Battery and Wolf Streets on West Capitol Avenue behind the Arkansas State Capitol. Be there. Remember really what is, I think, a genocide that's been going on since 74. And Rose Mimms, Arkansas Right to Life, I appreciate what you're doing, all the work that you've done the past 30 years. I know it hasn't been for nothing, because we definitely are so appreciative, and what you have done is self-evident in this state. So we really appreciate it, Rose.
Well, thank you, Paul. And, I'm not a one-woman show. There's many, many pro-life people who have been working more years than me on this issue, and I appreciate their support and their work. So, but thank you, Paul.
All right. God bless you, Rose Mimms. Have a great March, and be safe.